Alrighty, today we are digging into Marin County home sales for May. And let me just say, it's giving slow drip energy. Price cuts are creeping up, bidding wars are basically, well, completely done. And I'm pulling up a neighborhood heat map that's straight up roasting the weaker spots in the market. If you're trying to time your move, or if you're wondering if the sky is actually falling, you will want to stick around. So let's get to it. I'm Karrie Hill, lawyer turned realtor, helping you buy or sell in Marin without losing your mind. Use the link below to do all the fun stuff like book a free video consultation or sign up for my free monthly newsletter that shows exactly which homes sold, how much those homes went for over or under the list price. I mean, math that nobody else is doing. No fluff, just the numbers and the real talk. California market news. The national housing mood, let's call it emotionally unstable. Mortgage rates finally stopped climbing recently after a 3-week spike that had buyers sweating and lenders quoting like they were auctioneers on espresso. The dip came after the U.S. credit rating downgrade and a freshly passed house tax bill made investors blink twice. But don't break out the low rate dance just yet. With inflation jitters and economic weirdness still hanging around like that one guest who won't leave the party, we could easily see more roller coaster action. Meanwhile, new home sales randomly spiked to a 3-year high in April, mostly because builders threw in all the incentives short of a free puppy. Okay, that didn't happen a lot in Marin. We don't have a lot of new housing. Anyway, and the job market, that is still stubbornly solid. Initial jobless claims dropped a bit, though continuing claims stayed up, suggesting people are still having a tough time finding new gigs once they're out. But builder confidence? Down in May. And small business optimism slipped again in April because apparently everyone's still allergic to certainty. Homes that sold in May. Let's break down May's Marin County home sales. 229 homes closed. 101 homes sold below list, averaging 7% under. 18 homes sold at list price, and 104 sold over asking, averaging 6% above. Translation? We were already seeing buyer pushback and price resistance in April, and those numbers are weaker still. Okay, so hey, quick heads up. These videos actually take me real time and money to make. And nope, YouTube's not footing the bill. But when you like or comment or especially subscribe, it signals to the algorithm to share this with more people. And yeah, it seriously motivates me to keep going. It's super helpful. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Now, on to the charts. Okay, so here are the numbers for inventory in Marin. What's the most important thing on this? These are the light green bars here, which show our inventory, what's available for sale right now. 639 homes. Wow, our inventory is definitely going up. You can see it right there, but wow, right? So that change from last month, just last month, is another 13.7% of homes available. That is going to be helpful to buyers and not so helpful to sellers. How does that look over time? Well, when you compared it from last year to this year in the month, it's 32.8% higher than it was last year. That's a big deal. And we don't have the numbers to compare like a whole quarter because they just repeat these numbers. Anyway, you can also look at the sold numbers. That's also somewhat of interest. There are still more houses sold this month than past month, pretty normal, but down from last year, probably because of interest rate changes, but up from when you compare the whole quarter to the quarter last year. Anyway, big deal. Inventory in Marin is still going up. We're now in the 600s. That's going to be a change. Rather, it is a change. And if it continues, things will continue to change in the direction of a softening market more than likely. Okay, now days on market, which is the orange bars here. Days on market went down in May. Again, it's springtime. It's the best time of the year. So that's down 23.5% from the month before. The bigger thing though is it is down 16.1% in comparison to last spring. So that still shows that houses are selling, but I wonder if the reason is because of this right here. You see, this is that homes are mostly selling for about 101% of the list price. That's this right here, sales price over original list price. So that's fairly flat, and this is spring. It makes me think that sellers are pricing more correctly and maybe a little bit more stably, and that's keeping this a normal spring. We will probably start to see this turn by next month. As you can see here, last year it went from 31 days to 33 days when we moved into June. And here we have those prices, and you can see right here, prices went up. In fact, they went up a lot over the last few months. Right now, this is a seasonal thing. You can see it also right here. Well, we don't have the previous month, but this blipped up and it started to go down in June. So you would expect this to roll over by next month and be, headed somewhere else. But in the meantime, all these numbers were up month over month. Again, that's not so unusual. But when you compare it to last year, you can see that median price sold and the average price sold were still higher than this exact time last year. But the big but here is when you look at the whole quarter, more data, more statistically significant. Now all the numbers are down. So this first one is down 3.5% for the median sold price. It's down 0.8% for the average sold price. And this one right here, which is down a minus 6.3%, is what the active prices that sellers are choosing for the homes. And that kind of like bodes right into what I was saying on that last slide, right? That sellers are getting more realistic about what actually sells, and they're pricing it, more strategically this spring than last spring, which is good because it's definitely a softer market and they need to do that. And here is our price per square foot bars. And you can see that since last month, they went up 1.9%. Again, it's spring. But when you compare that to last year, it's down 1%. So that means you're getting a little bit more for your money this spring than you did last spring. And then over here, if you compare the entire quarter, it's down 0.9%. Okay, and this is the last chart that I want to show you. I'm going to try to can you see the yellow? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, here is the numbers. These are the 12-month change in estimated value in Marin homes. And the red ones are where prices have gone down the most, like here and up here. And the really purple ones are where prices have gone up the most. Now, you have to do this with a little grain of salt, right? Because like we know, there's not a lot of sales in Marin. And I haven't shown this for a couple of months because, well, it's a 1 month change. So it's like that. It's like on the past charts that we were just doing when it's like May of this year compared to May of last year, but not everything in between. But the reason I wanted to show this chart is for this huge change in Southern Marin. You see, Southern Marin has always kind of been like the gem of Marin, right? Things do cost more here, and it's just more desirable to live, more than likely because it's closer to San Francisco, and a lot of the homes in here either have views of San Francisco or the Golden Gate Bridge, or it's a very, very short drive to get to it. But look at that. They happen to be in the weaker ones. So seeing Southern Marin get weaker suggests to me that these others are likely to get weaker as well. And there's lots of reasons for these things. This up here in Nevada, down a lot as well. It's just maybe a bit remote for people. And this little pocket here, that is Ross, California. And that just tends to be a place that people want to live and pay for it. And it's so wealthy of an area that money probably matters a little less and they can pay up for properties. And these ones have been doing well. So maybe it's because they had a lower price point to begin with, and so people see the value there, so they are still doing really well. Or maybe there's still remote work going on where, more people don't have to go to work somewhere and commute. I don't really know about that. I hear a lot of mixed stories on the news about it. But in any event, bottom line, this is interesting because Lower Marin is weak. Okay, so next week's video is going to be juicy. We're breaking down the 4 cities with the biggest peak to May price drops in the United States, all hovering around 20%. And 2 of them are actually Marin neighbors. Ouch. I'll also run the same numbers for Marin County single-family homes. So if you've been wondering how far prices have really fallen since the peak, well, buckle up. And if you're looking for more information about living in Marin County or some information for buyers or sellers, there should be some video recommendations popping up right now. And hey, remember to subscribe to encourage me. Thank you for watching and have a great day.